Hello everyone, I am Dipali Pathak and today I have brought a new chapter of class 12, that is asexual reproduction in organism. So asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction which involves no formation and fusion of the gametes. Here the A shows the negation, means there is no sexual activity and the formation of gametes and fusion of gametes does not take place here. That is why it is called as the asexual reproduction. Means when asexual reproduction takes place in organism, the organism produce some reproductive units. In our previous lecture, I told you it's a basic feature of reproduction that organism have to prepare reproductive units for the formation of new individuals. So these reproductive units convert into new individuals. On the other hand, the asexual reproduction is also called as apomixis. Apomixis, it's also a type of reproduction, or it is a type of reproduction in which formation of new individual without involving gametes takes place and gametes are not prepared. That is why dimorphic, sexually dimorphic organisms are not required, and that is why it is uniparental. Uniparental means only one organism, one individual is required for the formation of new individual. And it is non-sexual reproductive units. The reproductive units and the body part of organism which are responsible for the new organism, they are non-sexual reproductive units and they are called as blastose. The asexual reproduction is also known as the blastogenesis, means the formation of new individuals through blastose. These are the somatic cells, means normal body cells are called as the somatic cells which grow, mature and form the new individual. In this way, the asexual reproduction takes place in lower primitive, which are less developed. Only they show the asexual type of reproduction. Now let's understand some characteristics about the asexual reproduction. The first characteristics of asexual reproduction, that it is uniparental reproduction. As I told you, only one individual or one parent organism is required for the formation of new individual. That is why it is called as uniparental reproduction. Then it involves only mitotic division of the cell. Earlier I told you that cell division allows the growth and development, and sometimes it's become the mode of reproduction. Means it helps in the formation of new organism. So when cell mitotically divide, it form two identical daughter cells or many identical daughter cells. So mitotic cell division is the process behind the asexual reproduction. It is the formation of new individual when somatic part of parental organisms involved. In this way, it is also called as somatogenic reproduction. It is very clear from its name, somatogenic reproduction. Somatogenic reproduction means somatogenesis or the formation of new individual from the somatic cells. Fourth characteristic of the asexual reproduction, that is new individuals which are produced are genetically and morphologically identical with each other and with their parent too. So they are known as clones. Progenies and the offspring produced through asexual reproductions are called as clones. This is very important point for the chapter. It involves rapid reproduction and no role in evolution. As the produced progenies are identical, there is no variation among them. That is why they do not take part in the evolution. They do not give their contribution in the evolution. It is more primitive than sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the process which takes place in complex body designed organism and it's a very lengthy process. It takes place in highly developed organism only. That is why the asexual reproduction is primitive than the next characteristic of the asexual reproduction, that is reproductive units may be whole body of the parent organism, or it may be in other forms such as bud, offset, somatic cell, etc. It means the whole body of the organism can be divided into two or more parts, or the body of parent may form any other reproductive unit which can be detached or separate from the parent body and convert into a new organism. So development of new organism may takes place from parent body or maybe from reproductive units. Another point, that is it is found in lower organism. As I told you, it takes place only in some primitive organism such as protozoan, sponges, cylindrids and flatworms. So it is very common in protozoa such as amoeba, sponges, hydra, yeast and planaria. These are some example of these common groups. Now, variation may occur due to mutation. As I told you, the progeny which formed due to the asexual reproduction, they are identical of each other and there is no variation among them and their parent. But sometimes variation occur due to mutation, which are sudden change, and this is the genetical change. So, it may occur due to the mutation only. Otherwise, the variation will not occur. Last characteristic of the asexual reproduction, that is progenies are less adaptable to change in the environment. Means they don't have the capacity to change themselves or adapt themselves according to the environment. So these are all the characteristics of the asexual reproduction which can be seen in the offspring which are produced due to the asexual reproduction. Now let's understand the types of asexual reproduction. Now let's understand the types of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place in many forms as fission. Fission means the splitting or division of the parent organism. Fragmentation, when organism divide into many pieces, the way of asexual reproduction is called as fragmentation. Or it may take place by budding, regeneration, spore formation, plasmotomy and vegetative propagation. These are the different types of asexual reproduction which we will study in detail. First, we are going to understand about the binary fission. Here the bi means 2. Bi means 2. And fission, as I told you, fission means division. Division of cell into 2 equal daughter cell, that is called as the binary fission. It is of many types. When binary fission takes place in any organism, it takes place in favorable condition and unfavorable condition too. So if favorable condition are there, it takes place in irregular form, in longitudinal form and in transverse plan. Favorable condition, organism produced through binary fission, they may be divided irregularly, longitudinally or transversely into 2 identical daughter cells. Then it is called as the binary fission. Best example of binary fission, that is amoeba. Amoeba has irregular shape. It's a unicellular organism. It's a protozoan. When it divide irregularly. First, its nucleus start to divide into 2 equal halves and then cytoplasm and other cell organelles divide. Finally, it formed 2 equal daughter cells or 2 equal amoebas. In this way, one parent organism divide into two identical daughter cells. It is the irregular type of binary fission. Then longitudinal binary fission takes place in euglenoids. Euglena is the organism which has a flagella. So first its basal body and flagella start to divide, and finally longitudinally it divides into two daughter cells along with its two flagella. So in this way longitudinal section takes place to divide the parent body into two daughter cells. Then transverse binary fission takes place in paramecium. It is known as the sleeper shaped animal. Transversely it divides into two daughter cells. First its oral groove start to divide, which is also called as the cytostome. So this cytostome will divide and the organism will divide into two daughter cells. In this way, two cytostome will form. Then nucleus will also divide into two equal halves and the organism will separate into two daughter parameciums. There are some pictures for your convenience. You can see and understand the process. Binary fission longitudinally takes place in euglena and transversely takes place in paramecium. Then multiple fission is also takes place in organism, and sporulation is also a way of fission in which parent organism divide into many daughter cells. But both of these takes place in unfavorable condition only. When the environment is unfavorable for the survival of organism, then organism reproduce by means of these two methods. So multiple fission takes place in Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a malaria parasite. You can see Plasmodium structure here. Plasmodium unicellular organism has nucleus. When its nucleus divide into many daughter nuclei, but they are enclosed in a single cell. They are not in the form of separate cell, and they are divided into many daughter nuclei. And during the germination, they come out from the parent body and start to multiply. So this way is called as the multiple fission, in which the one organism develop into many other daughter organisms. Next method is sporulation. It is also same as the multiple fission. It's another way of multiple fission, and it takes place in amoeba. In favorable condition, amoeba binary reproduce, but in unfavorable condition, amoeba reproduce by sporulation. Sporulation in which the organism's cytoplasm and nucleus divide into many parts. They form daughter nuclei and they enclosed into a single cell. During the germination, they come out and become multiple in number. You can see here during the germination, when amoebae, daughter amoebae come out from this parent cell, they show pseudophore. These are the pseudopodiophore. So in this way the organism reproduce by means of binary and multiple fission. Now another form of the asexual reproduction, that is the fragmentation. It is very clear from its name that fragmentation means the formation of new individual from the fragment. A fragment means pieces. If organism divide into many pieces, each fragment or piece develop into a new individual. Its example is the filamentous algae, which is called as Spirogyra. The Spirogyra has the chloroplast in zigzag manner. In the diagram you can see many cells join together with the help of a partition. Here the cell nucleus is there. Each cell, each fragment consists of nucleus and its own chloroplast in zigzag pattern. So at this specific site, when organism divides, they have to separate from this specific site, and each fragment will develop into a new organism. So this way of reproduction in organism is called as the fragmentation. Another way of the sexual reproduction, that is budding. When parent organism develop a bud-like structure inside or outside of their body, then the way of reproduction is called as the budding. So it is of two types. Exogenous means occurrence of the bud outside of the body surface, and its example is hydra or yeast. Another form of budding, that is endogenous. Endogenous means occurrence of the bud inside of the body of organism, and its example is the spongilla or scypha of the Porifera group. This form of formation of endogenous bud, that is called as gemule formation too. So through diagram we can understand how the formation of bud takes place. First, organism form bud-like structure on their outer surface, and then karyokinesis takes place. First, nucleus divide into two equal halves. After the division of this nucleus, bud and parent organism both share it. Then cytokinesis takes place, through which all the cell organelles divides and the bud detach from the parent body and become an individual organism. So it's a way of budding in which new individual form through the bud. It's a example of exogenous budding. In case of endogenous budding, the nuclei divide into many daughter nuclei, and during the germination they come out from the parent body. Here it is a nucleus. It is enclosed in a single cell and it divides into many daughter nuclei. It's a scypha. It is also takes place in spongilla of the Porifera group, which has calcareous skeleton like this. These are the spicules. During the germination, these daughter cells come out from the parent body and become an individual. So all these daughter nuclei, when remain inside the parent body, the formation of this structure is called as gemule. Another form of the asexual reproduction, that is regeneration. Its best example is planaria. Regeneration means the formation of new individual from the lost part of the parent body. Each lost part develop into an individual and become a complete developed organism. That is why it is called as the regeneration. You can see here the diagram. Best example is planaria. Rather than starfish is also an example of the regeneration, and you can see this in the lizard tail also. This is the diagram of planaria, which is a flatworm. When we divide its body into 3 parts, each part will develop into an developed organism. From one parent body, 3 planaria will formed. You can see here, last part will be developed and it will complete whole the organism. In this way, we will get 3 new individuals. So it's a form of asexual reproduction, which is called as regeneration. Next form, that is the spore formation. Spore formation takes place in some algae and fern and funaria, this kind of lower organism of plant and animal group. It takes place through zoospore formation and by the formation of conidia. Zoospore are the motile structure which are produced into the parent organism. They are many in number and they produce into the parent body and they come out or release during the germination. So these kind of spore-like structure with flagella are called as zoospore. Chlamydomonas is the best example of it. Then spore formation takes place in some kind of fungi also. Spores are produced in the sporangium. Another form of the spore formation, that is conidia formation. Conidia is a formation of spore in separate cutoff or in the form of chain-like structure. They produce exogenously on the body surface of the organism. When they produced, after maturation, they separate from the parent body and develop into a new organism. It also takes place in some kind of fungi such as penicillium. So this is a spore formation which takes place in some kind of fungi. Another way of asexual reproduction mainly which takes place in plant, that is the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means the formation of organism from the somatic or any vegetative cell of the body. So it may take place naturally or by artificially, means we can induce that and in advanced form into the laboratory. Naturally, it takes place by means of some reproductive units such as offsets, runners, suckers, node, tubers, corn. These are the reproductive units which are present in plant body which doesn't have roots and seeds. Means if we want to grow plant without seed and root, then vegetatively we can propagate it. So natural vegetative propagation takes place by means of root, stem, leaf which have their vegetative propagules. These reproductive units in organism which are responsible for the formation of new organism, they are called as vegetative propagules and they are present in root, stem, leaf and some other part of the plant. So in case of stem such as potato or ginger, the reproductive units are nodes or eyes. You have seen the eye-like structure, a vegetative growth which are called as eyes on potato. They are responsible for the growth of new plant. Then in case of bryophyllum leaf, which is also called as mother leaf, nodes arise from the margin of the leaf and they detaches, separate from the leaf and develop into a new plant. Some plants such as Eichhornia have horizontal structure which are called as offsets. These offsets are responsible. Offset are horizontal interconnecting structure in between the stem of aquatic plant of Eichhornia. If we detach or separate plant body from this offset, it will give rise a new root and stem along with the leaves. In this way, offset are the reproductive unit for the formation of new plant. Then artificially vegetative propagation takes place in the form of stem cutting, grafting, gutta formation, layering. These are the form of vegetative propagation which we have to induce. They do not take place naturally. So, its first form, that is stem cutting, in which we have to obliquely cut the stem and sow that into the soil. Then it will develop its root and other part of the plant. So stem cutting, it's also a way of asexual reproduction of developing new plant. Another way, that is in grafting, we have to take piece of a plant which can be placed in the socket of another plant which is called as graft. This separate out piece of plant is called as graft. So we have to place that into a plant which is rooted into the soil. After some time, the cell of both the piece will match and a new variety of plant will develop. This is called as the grafting. Advanced form of the vegetative propagation is called as tissue culture. Means we develop whole the organism or plant from a single cell or tissue, where we have to develop this cell or tissue into a culture medium. It takes place only in the laboratory and under observation or under specific condition. It does not take place in our surrounding. So this culture medium contain all the plant growth hormone and nutrients which allow growth to this cell or tissue, and they convert into a plantlet. After that, it transfer into the nursery. So this is called as a tissue culture. Students, I have given many important terms and tricks in this lecture for your convenience. It will definitely helpful to you for your board exam and your competitive exam as well.